Hello everyone, please welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be talking about two separate things in this video. One thing is, I think, very relevant to a lot of people out on the internet, especially on booktube, that people are really scared of poetry. And you have to go no further than right here that I am also scared of poetry. Like listening to poetry or reading poetry. I'm not talking about those children's rhymes and children's poems. And the children's poets are awesome. And my native language, which is Bengali poets are also very accessible and readable and understandable. Some of them are really hard because we had to interpret them in high school, and I was notoriously bad in them, but I passed that stage of my life and I don't want to read any more Bengali poetry. But what I do want to do is I want to read more poetry in English, and I also want to write poetry if I can, because it is a extremely hard thing to do. It is worse to write a poetry than write a novel or any other form of literature, in my opinion. So I was like, what better place to start than the Penguin Little Black classics? And this is the one that I traveled with this time, because Sappho, I have never heard of this name before collecting this, but apparently apparently Sappho is very, I don't know, famous. That's what it's supposed to be, because in the back it says that sensual sun-soaked verse on love and the gods in ancient Greece, from the poet named the 10th Muse by Plato. So, incredibly famous, and I've read the first poem, which is called The Goddesses, and as the name suggests, it probably would be about goddesses, right? I don't know. It is not very accessible to me, at least, because I don't know about Greek poems or Greek tragedies and things like that. So there are definitely references here which I do not absolutely understand. And nowadays YouTube has been recommending me like Greek mythology and such recommendations, which I'm grateful for, because I have been always interested in like Greek and Roman history, and I have never really delved into it, which I would love to do. So this is incredibly interesting, but most of it I do not understand. This is the verse that I, however, understood a little bit, so I will read to you so you can decide for yourself if you want to read this or not. She who shuns love soon will pursue it. She who scorns gifts will send them still. That girl will learn love, though she do it against her will. I don't know how I feel about that, and especially because it is very old, like not my copy. I'm talking about the poem written. It is, I don't know, when is it written? I don't know. I assume very old. So she was born 630 BCE and died 570 BCE. So extremely old. So obviously most of it we wouldn't like connect to with heart to heart. So this is definitely not a right place for me to start, but I feel like what it did for me is that my interest in Greek mythology and Greek tragedies have been spiked. So I feel like I would be reading more of that. So Troy. So it's like I have the Odyssey on myself, shelf back home, and I would be reading that this summer when I go back. Okay, do you mind if I take down my glasses because it's giving me a headache? It's giving me a headache so much. Sorry. Anyways, so but this is the very short collection, and the poems are also very short, and it doesn't have very many sentences in one page. So it might just be great to get into poetry for some people. So I thought that I would just recommend it. Kind of, if you feel like, you can definitely try it. And what I actually definitely enjoyed were the two short stories from Leo Tolstoy, which I was talking about. And the first one is the title, How Much Land Does a Man Need? And the second one is What Men Live By. So, chronologically, What Men Live By was the first one which was published, which Leo Tolstoy wrote. This is also my first time reading about Leo Tolstoy at the same time. And I have always wanted to read Anna Karenina, but I have been daunted by it. And I also don't have the right translation that I want to read. I want to read the Maud's translation because I have read the first paragraph from all of the translations, and Maud's translation is definitely the best and my personal favorite. So I would definitely love to read the Maud's translation. But before I get into like huge classics of Leo Tolstoy, I wanted to experience my foot into his short stories, and these are translated by Ronald Wilkes. So it feels a lot modern, the writing, which is very accessible for people in our generation, and it is very accessible. So I feel like there was no need to be daunted and intimidated by his writing, and especially because it is translated from Russian, which is might seem very daunting in itself. So I haven't read any Russian literature, and I would love to read Anna Karenina this year, but this gave me quite the confidence that I needed to get into Tolstoy. So I feel like I am loving Tolstoy, or the things that he writes. I'm not sure I would agree with all of his quirks in the future books that he wrote, but I have listened to so many people encouraging each other to read Leo Tolstoy, and especially Anna Karenina and War and Peace, that I absolutely want to read both of them. But this year, especially, I would love to read Anna Karenina because it has been on my shelf for so long and I have not gotten around to it. So when I go back home, I would probably read the Maud's translation, which I don't own. Anyways, okay, if that didn't tell you how much I love this, I don't know what will. So get into Tolstoy's writing and please give me recommendations. Okay, my bookmark fell from the book, sorry. But please feel free to recommend me in the comment section. In the previous video too, I said to recommend books in the comment section. If it is open, I'm very lucky that the last video and the comment sections were open, so thank you so much. And please feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, you know everything. Ring the bell so you can find out when I post my next videos, and hopefully you would love to see more of my face on booktube. I don't know. And thank you so much for watching till the end, and I hope you're having a wonderful day, night, evening, morning, whatever time of your day you're having. And thank you so much once again. Goodbye.